Kai, I think at least I was experiencing a lot of problems with you while you're doing speaking, so maybe keep your video off. We're going to do check-ins really quick. Everyone needs to call after each other, as we're practiced on doing. Also, I think this is going to be a long meeting, as I know there are some really big proposals coming up. So get ready; it's going to be fun. So yeah, we'll check in. And Alan, since you're on my screen, how about you start with the check-in?
Okay, so I'm trying to get done a lot of things that I couldn't get done in the last 2 months because I was traveling basically and always on a run and with 1,000 different things happening. So I'm catching up. I'm trying to now get closer to product development if I can, and I'm still distracted by a few other projects that I have to deal with, but I'm trying to focus more on Giveth. Oz.
Oh, and intention for the meeting.
Oh, intention for the meeting. I would really like to see us approving this budget, whatever it is, and moving things forward with the product. That's it. Oz?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what everyone has to talk about. It seems like it's been an awesomely productive last couple of weeks, and so my intention for the meeting is just to have as much fun as possible. Let's move it on to whoever this pink guy is. Let's just go with Chris, since your video's on.
Yes, so my intention for the meeting is to make it not too long, because I really have to run in a little bit less than an hour. And so hopefully we can approve stuff quite rapidly. And I'm distracted by some unclarities in the organization for the moment, but this meeting is probably going to help. And I pass it on to Griff.
Okay, so I'm distracted by the beautiful music and my beautiful girlfriend who's sitting in front of me, but other than that, oh, and I haven't eaten, so that'll be fun. And then, but I'm also very excited about this meeting, which should power through all of those distractions. My intentions are to also I'm excited for everyone to see what the budget is and to go through all the stuff last meeting, or foreshadowing for everyone last meeting.
Who's next?
I guess I'll go then.
Oh, did I cut out?
Yeah.
RJ is what I said, but Wojtek instead.
Okay. So I want a short meeting, even though I know it's not going to be a short meeting. And the intention is to hear what Satya has to say and then do budget. RJ.
Yeah, my intention, not really any distractions per se. I guess more just kind of like, I feel like things are up in the air. And so as far as Giveth, and so that's kind of a distraction. And so my intention is just kind of like bring clarity to that and listen to Satya's proposal on the budget situation. Oz, did Oz go? Kai?
Yeah, I also want to have a quick meeting if possible, just because I'm afraid they might cut the power again. Yeah, and my intention is to hear what people have to say. I'm really looking forward to the suggestions we get. And please, who's Satya? Are you left?
Yeah,
Arthur?
I'm here. I'm also super excited. My intention is to give everybody food for thought. My distraction is I get a headache, so that doesn't help. And also, this is going to be the first meeting that I'm actually going to get food. during the meeting. So that's going to be interesting. Who hasn't gone? Arthur?
Okay, so I would also like a relatively quick meeting. I think that's the consensus, and I think that everybody knows that that's not going to happen. So main distraction is just note-taking, but that's not a big distraction. All right, and Edu left. That's correct, right? So I believe that's everybody.
Edu, are you there?
I saw in the Slack.
Oh, Edu left. Oh, okay.
So
okay, cool.
I believe that's everybody.
Okay, so yeah, the one logistics thing I forgot was open up the notes sheet and help Quasia. I mean, he's a really fast typer, but you know, he gets to talk too, right? So the next thing is the agenda items. So who's got agenda topics?
I have a very quick one. Concerning notes, make short notes on meetings, only proposals and accept or not.
That's a lot more than 3 words, Kai.
Yeah, shorter notes, meetings.
Okay.
Meetings, shorter notes.
I want to talk about rewards. I guess.
Okay, since no one else is going, I want to talk about budget. But I would like it to be towards the end.
Is that it, guys? There's nothing else? Satya, nothing else?
Me? No.
Yeah. Okay, I thought you had 5 things that you want to talk about today. But
oh, and
yeah, one thing at a time.
I also have one thing, which is an announcement which I missed, but I'm going to say it now. We're reviving on Monday. We're reviving Give Daily.
Yes.
Oh, and then I have one more agenda point. Give it daily.
Okay, well, this might be a short meeting then. That's exciting. Okay, so is there any other agenda items? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay, we're moving on then. Kai, attention and proposal for making short notes.
Sure. Tension is notes are too long. We generate lots of text nobody really needs because really the essential stuff of our notes is to transport what has been agreed upon and maybe some interesting stuff, but we are collecting all the stuff which is not necessary in my opinion. So my tension is that our note takers are very distracted and generate a mass of text, and my proposal is to just hold on to proposal and if they're approved or not approved, and maybe some line for the explanation. But so we can have one meeting in like a block of text, a little one, 10 lines. And Griff, please mute yourself if you're not not on. Your music is too loud, so it's always on the speakers. Yeah, with the one sentence is, let's make the notes requirements different, shorter. Yeah, thanks for listening.
Clarifying questions? I don't think there's anything to clarify. Reactions rounds. How about Arthur?
So I think that overall that would probably be good, especially since having done them a couple. Well, I guess this is only the second time I've really done them. But I think distilling things down to one sentence can be difficult sometimes. So I think that the default should be something like this, but maybe for more difficult proposals, maybe they could be fleshed out more, so you have like 2 modes, but that might be overcomplicating things. All right, I'll go to RJ.
Yeah, I think it's good to be short and sweet, to the point. So, like, cut out all the fluff. Alan.
I have nothing to add at this point. Oz hasn't gone this round.
Hey guys, I'm wondering, can we get rid of the notes now that since we're live streaming? Do we even need the notes? That's my reaction. And I'll send it to Satya.
I think we have to write longer notes. No, kidding. I think it's good. Good plan. No other remarks. Who hasn't gone? Kai. No, Kai was the one that made the proposal.
I did not go.
RJ.
Wojtek, because I already went.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I was always saying it's way too long and that we should cut it. So I would not get rid of the notes, but I would really just put it, proposal, resolution. And Griff didn't go?
Yeah, I definitely think that we need the notes because not everyone wants to watch video, and not everyone can watch video because the internet sucks some places, like Mexico. And then I also think they need to be shorter, but I'm at the same time sympathetic because sometimes you can't have like coherent thoughts. Like you don't know what they're going to say until they say the whole thing. And so like Quasia is like, can basically type faster than any of us can talk. So like for him to just type everything, that's almost easier than having to put in conscious thought and like, do it. So I'm very sympathetic to the secretary of the meetings, who I think should just do it however they want during the meeting. And then maybe we impose the secretary's job is to produce a document for the wiki that summarizes it, which I would say deserves a reward. But so that's my thoughts on it. Let's see. Did Chris, you went?
No, I didn't go yet. So yeah, I would also definitely keep the notes because we're modeling a DAC, and so even if we're still a small community, the bigger communities also need to learn from us. So yes, keeping notes. I think we also need to keep some of the comments, but it can indeed be concise and maybe reworked at the end so that it is as concise as possible. But extra comments are important. The reactions of people are important because then you can follow the process of thoughts and trace it back if there's any issue later. And I think we got everyone now.
Did everyone speak? Okay, so then amend and clarify.
Okay, so I will clarify first. Please, let's keep the notes. I never said get rid of the notes. So my amended proposal is the note taker might shorten and sweeten stuff and keep out the fluff. For example, get rid of checking completely and just build the agenda. And I would actually propose to, these notes should definitely go on the wiki. I tried to push that some for a couple of meetings, but it didn't work so far. I put a large haul of notes in at one point, but yeah, if we could make that a regular thing so people can check our policies actually from reading our notes, that would be awesome. Yeah, that's it. So amended proposal, yes, keep notes short and clean, no fluff. No check-in needed probably, and please make afterwards a recap for the wiki under the note section. Thanks.
Any objections?
Quick objection. All right, so I worry that this could do harm because like you were saying, we're kind of like adding more pressure onto this person who's taking the notes. I'm wondering, Kai, if your suggestion could be or kind of is to have maybe a second person redo the notes or shorten them up for the wiki or something. But if you don't think so, that's fine.
Okay, I will go forward and just propose. I will do that myself. I will upload the notes from every meeting to the wiki.
Wow, it's hard to object with that one. Anyone have any objections? Okay, proposal passed. Wow, thanks for jumping on the grenade on that one, Kai. Okay, so talk about rewards, Satya.
Yay! All right. Okay. So I made a little presentation, so I'm going to share my screen. So in Cancun, we talked about getting rid of regular rewards. Well, there's also a tension that we burn a lot of money. So I think we have. I'm going to share my screen. Damn it. Am I? Okay. Am I still here?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I just had to install an extension, so sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so I first want to talk about the money that we burn. So this is like a normal company. If you put $1 in, you get like at least $1.40 out.
Satya, can you maybe close down some networking programs because you have a bad connectivity thingy right now?
I don't have any networking programs.
Okay.
So, can you see my screen or not?
Yeah, your voice goes away sometimes, but okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you put like $1 in, you get $1.40 out. And if you look at charity, the general thought is that if you give $1 charity, that, I don't know, nothing goes out or like a lot of money is burned there. But I did some research and actually charities are quite efficient. They only waste like 20% of the money that goes in. And my intention with Give It is that, but I just made like an estimation. There goes a lot of money. The result is not that we use that money very efficiently, I'd say. There's like a lot of people that we pay for a lot of different things. And I feel personally quite bad about this, how we spend our money. Because, I joined Give It to be better than other charities. And I think there are 3 reasons for our burn rate is premature scaling, and we do inefficient management, and we are doing like so I just want to quickly talk about it and then make some proposals. So when you're a startup like us, you have like a starting budget. So say that it is like, do I have a cursor? No, I don't. $50,000. And then, with the team that you have, you burn through that money like, I don't know, in a year or something. But that doesn't really matter because you can also get customers, right? And customers bring in more money, and then you scale up your resources. And actually, it's quite healthy. It's like money comes in, and your resources scale with your customers. And resources are everything you do, like hiring team members and buying trade shows. With Give It, we also had a lot of money, like a startup, but we started very fast. We have a lot of people and we do a lot of stuff, but actually we don't have any charities yet on our platform. So I would say that is like premature scaling. And that also means that our monthly burn rate is very high. And we burn through money very fast. And that means that even if we get like new donations now, that, you know, we keep burning this amount of money. And that is, I think, an unsustainable situation, although it's a lot of fun. Because that means that we, as the Give It charity or non-profit, we need to get in this amount of money like every, I don't know, 3 months or 2 months or 4 months. Core activity will probably be fundraising for ourselves. So
I lost you, Satya.
Yeah, we all lost him. I think he's gone.
If you can take a second and kill any processes running on your computer, Satya.
Proposal passed. Sorry.
Yeah. Very funny.
Great presentation, Satya.
Yeah, so far so good. I'm pretty sure he's closing processes. Is this true, Satya?
I am.
Okay.
You hear me?
Yeah.
I'm going to try to use my mobile network because I don't know here.
Now your connection is good again.
Yeah, because I don't do the screen share. So.
I can put the music on in the background. It's kind of like Jeopardy music.
Let's keep everyone calm and relaxed.
Yeah.
Alternatively, if sharing the screen doesn't work, you could just send us the deck and we could walk through it ourselves. That is not as good, but it's an alternative.
Yeah, he sounds like he's shooting for a mobile.
I'm going to start again. Where did you guys lose me?
That looks right.
This slide, yeah.
This slide?
Yep.
Okay, so I was talking that if we keep burning money like this, then we need to be fundraising this amount of money like every couple of months, which is an unsustainable situation unless we want to have our core activity to be fundraising for ourselves. And then again, Griff says, yeah, money is no problem all the time. So maybe it's not a problem, but I think it's a problem because it's not better than the other charities. Well, that is the question that I think, no, it's not making the world a better place if we just burn money because we have a lot of money. And next one. The second one is like inefficient management. And a normal company starts with a need, like we need to have this kind of thing done. And we try to find the best person for that money that we want to pay for it. So they define the role, they make it public, and they find the best person to fill that role. And Give It works kind of like the next slide. It's like, hey, I want to contribute. Okay, we have Circle X or Domain Z, and we have a reward DAO. And make a video of what you produced, and go ahead. And it's a little bit black-white, but just to... I've kind of this feeling. Or, you know, we have like a domain or something that we need to do a task, and who wants to do that? Okay, good, you want to do that. Great. We just happily accept, right? And we make sure that everybody has something to do now. So we're all happy. Yes, we are very happy. except the problem is this only gets worse because you get more people on board and more people, and we burn through more money. And then also, how do we get rid of people that Giveth doesn't need? Although, you know, we all like each other. It's like, yeah, the team grows and grows, and everybody needs to get paid for the things they do, and we start doing more things that we actually don't really need, but it's fun. But we have a solution for that, and that is like we kind of encourage talent drain. Like we underpay, well, I wouldn't say underpay, but we ask everybody to work maximum 24 hours a week. We incentivize people to move to other places in the Ethereum community. We want to get rid of the core team, the regular rewards, and very important one, we don't really offer mutual commitment. So we say there's like a task, and then somebody says, okay, I will pick it up. Or we have a role and somebody says, I want to do that role. But if you don't know if you get paid for that upfront, or what the requirements of that role, what you have to deliver, then that person that is doing that next week, he might be doing something else that's more important. And he might decide to not do the role, or just not do the task anymore. And then as Giveth, we cannot depend on that person. And that's a very bad situation if you want to move forward. So yeah, this is about Giveth now. And I would like Giveth to be like this. If we put $200,000 in, I want to have a result of $160,000. And I think everybody should ask, including myself, is why are you here? And yeah, are we really moving Giveth forward, or are we just like having fun? Maybe not bad, but it's a good question, I think. So I have two proposals. One is to for the regular rewards. I think we should not get rid of those, but we should like, yeah, we need to keep like a core knowledge and values and culture within Giveth to secure the continuity and also create mutual commitment. And I think we should start for the we should start with like, what is the need? I think we need about a core team of 5 people according to our roadmap. And I would say it's about 2-3 devs, 1 marketing and 1 sales. And those people need to be full-time, and they need to be talented, and they need to have competitive salaries so that they don't move anywhere else. And that could look something like this. And my idea is that we define those, my proposal, I would say, is we define those roles as a team based on our roadmap, and then we make them public on Atlas. And that means that anyone that's working now for Giveth can apply, but also people from outside. And then we create like a talent pool. And the goal is that we get the best talent for the budget that we have. And I think, you know, we like holacracy and voting and points and influence. So maybe we can probably make some system that we as a team decide, like, or vote or whatever, who's going to be given those roles of the core team. Maybe we can also create something that you have some kind of reputation, and if that goes down, that you lose that role. And then, you know, because that's a thing with holacracy, is like, how do you get rid of people? So this is getting a little bit blurry here, but my general proposal is to define roles based on needs, attach a budget to that, put it on Atlas, and let anybody apply for those core 5 or 4 core for the core team. Then for the reward DAO, I think we should do the same. We should start with a need, like, hey, what is the task that we need to have done to accomplish our roadmap. And we can also, it's like a brief, like a normal company does. It's like, hey, I expect the outcome to be like this. We're going to pay this much for that. Maybe you need some kind of reputation. And we also are going to measure your output by those KPIs. And there's like a deadline. So to give you an example, design a logo for Givet. Logo has to be responsive, needs to fit some mood boards, be judge friendly. Yeah, maybe some kind of reputation system. And then we can also say upfront what are the KPIs. Like, you know, we're going to measure this result by, does it work on mobile? Do you find the logo friendly? Does it fit the mood boards? Does the quality match competition? And then in our little reward DAO, we can all like vote for the result on those KPIs instead of just voting on influence. It's more complex, but I think it needs more upfront thinking as well, but I think we will get better value for money. I don't know about any more. No, I don't want to talk about this actually. So my general proposal is to start from a need to build a core team, create mutual commitment, and stop wasting money. End of slideshow.
Okay, so clarifying questions.
Yes, I have one. So I was just wondering what you mean with a sales role. Do you mean with that like the person who would like get communities on board and so on? Because that is something that a marketing or communication guy could do, or girl could do as well. No?
Do I have to answer that now? I forgot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's so a sales role is like somebody that finds charities. It's not really sales for us, right? So, yeah, I mean, could be a marketing person, but I think that's somebody that also really makes sure that, you know, if we have like a United Nations that want to use Givet, we have to onboard them. We have to make sure that they get started. So it's like more customer success management / sales, I guess. I don't think a marketing person is the right role for that, or can do that by himself.
Okay.
Any other clarifying questions? So I want to make a proposal that we let Wojtek present his budget thing, because I think it's very related to what Sasha just proposed, and it'll be kind of weird to do a reaction round on Sasha's without hearing Wojtek. Or maybe we just move Wojtek's proposal to a reaction round. I'm curious what Wojtek thinks about that.
I would be okay to do it either as a reaction or maybe do it now, because it's very similar to what Satya's proposing, at least from the product point of view, but even from the other circles.
Yeah, so unless there's major, this is a governance, or what do you call it? This is like, we're breaking from the norm. So unless there's major opposition, especially, I want to hear an affirmative from Satya for this change in process. I would move that we let Wojtek present the budget.
I have a bit of an objection, to be honest, but I don't want to impose my opinion, in the sense that if we now move to a detailed budget proposal, we might lose the
governance, or what do you call it? This is like, we're breaking from the norm. So unless there's major opposition, especially, I want to hear an affirmative from Satya for this change in process. I would move that we let Wojtek present the budget.
I have a bit of an objection, to be honest, but I don't want to impose my opinion, in the sense that if we now move to a detailed budget proposal, we might lose the focus of everything that. Oh, I have an echo here with Alan, I guess, or someone. No, I think it's going to be a lot if we also now talk about a detailed budget, because I think this goes to the core of how we are organized as well as a DAC. So I think it might be interesting to get people's opinions on the organization and not go into a financial discussion immediately. But that's just my idea.
I would
Satya?
actually agree. Sorry.
Okay, perfect. Satya?
Well, I think we don't have to make. I would prefer that everybody thinks about it first before that we make a decision today or come to a conclusion. So then it's going to be a very long, because as you say rightly, Chris, is that this is really to the core of how we are organized. So I don't think it should fit like in one meeting and we make a decision on it. So my proposal would be to hear Wojtek's budget as well. Maybe he also has a presentation, and then to share this with everybody in the team, and then continue next week, maybe after a short reaction round.
So do you want a reaction round now, or do you want to let Wojtek give his proposal as the first reaction?
Okay.
Or
yeah, let's do a reaction round because it's fresh now.
Okay, reaction round it is. Who wants to go first? I do. I want to go first. Okay, so what I'll say is that I couldn't agree more for the product, for the DApp. I think that the DApp, I said this in the status video actually, that we don't need to recreate the wheel on the DApp. We should do what normal people do. At the beginning here, we were trying to impose a very creative structure for the entire Giveth ecosystem, or like all the different groups in Giveth. But I think that's completely unnecessary in the DApp group, because we can just follow the normal DApp, the normal structure that has been proven for the last 20 years on how to build an application that's been tried and tested. However, to me, Giveth is a hell of a lot more than this application. There is a lot going into there. To use this application the way I think it will be most powerful to change the world will require a lot of research. And research itself is a waste of money, always. You don't have, this is why colleges get grants. That's because it's not expected to receive a profit out of research. And from the perspective of the DApp, it's horribly inefficient and a waste of money. So from the perspective of a startup, the startup world, it's horribly efficient and a waste of money. But from the perspective of college or research group within a large organization, it is not a waste of money, in my opinion, to put a fair amount of funds into research. And the research that we need to do is creates inefficiencies because the management structure is not ideal. When you're researching how to decentralize autonomous. Hey guys, I'm sorry. Hey guys, just a little bit. It's okay. So we're trying to research how decentralized autonomous organizations need to be built. And the reason that we're playing around with this so much is because I lived through the DAO and I saw all the problems that we had outside of just writing code. And the Slockit did not put any effort into researching how do these humans interact with the code. And I think that is really, really important. And we're building a completely new way for humans to interact. So I've said it a million times, but like the most efficient governance structure is a benevolent dictatorship. And maybe that's what we need for the DApp because there's a clear path forward. But I really think that we have multiple facets of Giveth. I don't think smart contract design is optimal in this strategy. If we took this strategy for smart contracts specifically, we would need to pay incredible amounts of money to very high qualified professionals that could literally it would just be ridiculous and it would be inefficient. Whereas the open source model, which is allow people to contribute, allow people to do small tasks, and actually like try stuff. You know, there's a lot of people in this community right now that want to learn how to write smart contracts. And if we, you know, if we incentivize them properly and they play with the code and they can produce really cool projects for free, basically, and then we just give them a reward to like entice them, and we practice so like I feel like smart contracts, while in the traditional model would be like incredibly expensive to do, with a decentralized autonomous organization model, it would be really efficient. And I feel that way. I feel that we can also do that with communications and governance. And so I'm excited for each role, each like part, to have its own governance structure, and for the DApp to follow the standard practice and be really efficient, and for us to practice separating, when we actually have the DApp on mainnet, we can separate the donations out, and we can put the core part that goes toward the DApp and be extremely efficient with that.
Grip, sorry, short, please.
Yeah, and so the people that donate to the DApp know exactly where their money is going, and then that's where they go, and that can be really efficient. And if people want to support the governance, or they want to support the communications or the smart contracts, then they know that might not necessarily, they'll see how efficient that is and they can choose. So yeah, let's go with Alan.
Hey, so I was like, this was something that was really in my mind before DEF CON, as you guys know. I agree with Satya that in a way we're very inefficient, I think, and I'm just getting here, so I don't feel like I have, and I don't think I have contributed enough to really I don't know, give my opinion on that. But at the same time, like for the last few days, I have been basically advertising how different we are in everything we do. And I think it would be a shame not to be able to talk about like, hey, if you want to contribute, just join our Slack and this is great and everything is fun. But yeah, it's still a little bit unreal. But at the same time, like, if we want to be specific about that, an usual NGO has 20% management costs and delivers 80% of the money to something. This is important. In our case, we are developing a product, and we are essentially like the R&D department of the company. We are not the whole company. We are just the R&D department. And the R&D department is really a money drain. But yeah, I think we need to be responsible. I think this needs to be sustainable. I've said this before. I think we need to find like some sort of business model that works and a governance system that works for us. And it may be different. I agree that it may be different for different parts of the company, let's say, the DAC. So each campaign maybe could have its own governance. And that's what we're creating for. We're creating like this structure for people to do exactly what we're trying to do. So it's good that we have these problems, that we try to solve these problems for ourselves, because by doing this, we're also setting a standard or creating an example for the rest of the DACs that will come after us. So yeah, but and last thing, I really do think that like a lot of the stuff that I did, I considered in some way kind of volunteering. I think a lot of people would do that. I know that I had, Zuzka and I, for example, we were the first ones to say like, maybe we shouldn't go to Cancun, but in the end it was wonderful that we went. I don't think I would be here if we didn't. And we learned a lot, and so like there's you know, and in the end, what we are contributing, I think, like, I wouldn't even charge for the work I'm doing. If I, you know, it's like, I don't know, maybe I am one of the guys who could be doing volunteering work. Like, so this is something that we can think of. I don't know. Chris.
Yes, because I have to leave soon, unfortunately. The idea, I think, was the proposal of Satya was to keep reaction rounds short and that we can then reflect on it. So I'll try to keep it short, and then maybe next week we can have an extra meeting to discuss this, because I think this is really important. So very short, I think this is very good that we're bringing this up. I've talked to many people in Cancun, and I feel this is an uncertainty and a frustration that many of us have, and that is the organization of us, ourselves, the payment, everything. So I think there is indeed, for the moment, a need to get better organized, to discuss thoroughly how our DAC is managed. So my proposal is, let's share this presentation that Satya made, and or a document, so that everyone can write down his thoughts, because Griff, you talked for like 20 minutes now, and there was too much information, and I don't think even Kwasi was able to take all the notes. So maybe it's better if we all write down what our feedback is, and that we have maybe an extra meeting somewhere next week to discuss in detail. And that's not because I have to leave. I just think it's more efficient. And I pass it on to Wojtek.
Okay, so my reaction would be that this is exactly something that I've been concerned for quite a long time. And I've tried to prepare the budget like that. And I hope I can at least show you the budget. With Griff, we were discussing about the, okay, that's another thing. So RJ.
Yeah, I think it's a good start and a good thing to get the conversation rolling. And I don't know, I've like always felt like the commitment thing is definitely like it rings true to me or whatever. Like, oh, if the Giveth doesn't commit to other people, but they want people to commit to Giveth, then how do you build like a actual, like a decent product with that's like has a solid vision, I guess, and certain people holding that without commitment to them. Yeah, but I think it's definitely going to take more discussion. But yeah, I like Chris's idea of writing stuff down, and definitely post the slides, Satya. Oz?
Sounds good to me. That's definitely what I'm more used to, you know, in like the startup world. And I think that, yeah, if this solution is going to speak towards the tensions that the people that contribute the most to like giving a quality product, I think that is really important. You know, like the mutual line about really forming, you know, a trusted team with clear requirements to finish something. You know, that's kind of what any successful project needs. So I think Satya's proposal is in line with that. Yeah, that's my reaction. Did Kwasi already go?
No, I can go. So I basically agree with Alan. I'm relatively new, so I don't think I have as much of a voice in this. And I will say that, you know, when I first showed up and started doing stuff, I didn't even know there was a reward DAO. So I'd definitely be like willing to just volunteer what I do. And I think, you know, it's definitely true that I don't know what that noise is, but I'll just stop. Who hasn't gone?
I did not go, but I will keep it short. I don't know if you guys even can hear me because they cut the power to the Wi-Fi, and I'm on cell now. But I can follow the discussion. I'm not sure if I'm heard. I only was able to follow like 80%. Thanks. I was only able to follow 80%. I did not like thanks for the presentation, Satya. Very nice. I did not like the one notion with this keep your rank over 100, because I've seen the circle on my way here, and it was kind of crazy dystopian thing. I'm definitely for widening the discussion, like Chris proposed, and I think we have to talk more about this. I like the initial ideas. Unfortunately, I did not hear everything Griff said on the topic, so I think I would like to refrain actually, and just rewatch this governance meeting and take part in the discussion that follows. And I don't know if there's anybody left.
Is there anybody left? Okay. Amend and clarify, or maybe table. Sacha.
Okay, so thanks all for your feedback, and I think I'm going with Chris' proposal because that was my initial idea, was to share the slides, have everybody think about it, and then do a follow-up discussion because it's too big a subject to decide right now. And I would also like to have some time left to hear Wojtek's budget proposal. So that would be my proposal for now.
Okay. So proposal is tabled, and Wojtek.
So we don't do objections and stuff. Oh, it was tabled. Sorry. I'm going to share a link with all of you to the core team on Slack. This is the link to the budget. I will, of course, also share it, but it might be difficult to see the numbers. Can you see it, guys?
Yes.
That's fine.
Okay. So let's start here. So it's very similar to what Satya was basically saying, but we went a little bit broad. With Griff, we agreed that this could be something acceptable for both of us, and it's a first proposal. So we would continue with this idea of having 4 circles, one being the product, another one being the governance, next one is the communication, and the last one is smart contracts. So the proposal is always until the 1st of March, and then for the rest of the year. I'm not going to talk about those right now, and I let Griff to talk about those, but I'll focus on this product budget. So the idea was that, as Satya proposed, we're going to basically revise whoever works right now, say, okay, we have 5 roles that we need to fill. This could be, or 4 roles. This could be the yearly salary. And then we try and match the people. So I've identified about 13 different talents that we need, but of course we don't need them full time. But it would make sense to keep people full time. That's why I think that many people can actually do several roles, since we're not that big of a project. But the proposal is that all in all, it will be about 85,000 to finish the product. And the idea is that we allow people some commitment, mutual commitment. So we would do at least 1 year, let's say, contract. So those people would be first charity onboarding and outreach, which we agreed that could be externalized to the government and communication circles. Then there's a front-end developer who would also be able to maintain a website if there's something needed from the front-end side. Then there would be a software architect. Those roles could be a little bit mixed, right? But that's one of the proposals. Software architect, product definition, testing, because that makes sense to have all of those as a one person. Then developer who's more focused on the back end and on the smart contracts, and probably also does the operation. And then we would do bounties. So we would identify tasks, And we would do it a little bit like reward DAO, where you would vote on how much a task is worth to you. And beforehand, you would announce how much this task would pay out, which would be 70% of this agreed price. And then another 30% will be, let's say, a bonus that would be awarded if everyone else agrees proportionally, if everyone agrees that the task was fulfilled well, really well. Same goes also to bonuses for people. If we don't want to assign them beforehand, impose them a little bit like let's say, if you finish by this date, you get a bonus, because that just creates a hacky solution. But we would like to reflect some bounties and some bonuses on the job being well done. And that also would come from this number 5 budget. And I'll let Griff to talk about the rest of the budget.
Okay. I guess I'll share screen too, because that's working out really, really well. Let's see.
To make this for myself in the morning.
Okay, can you guys see my screen?
We're going to get this healthy one way or other, huh?
Can you guys see my screen?
I cannot.
No.
But it's okay. For me, it's fine.
You don't have enough bandwidth, I think.
Okay. Well, I'll pretend. So you can't see it at all? Or it's just blurry?
Can't see it at all.
Oh, okay.
You just think about, I mean, it's just one page, right?
Yeah, it's just one page. And what we could also do is, if Wojtek continues to share his screen, you can click his screen and you should be able to see it when it pops up. And I'll turn off my camera. But it's not a whole lot going on. And he also shared the link in private core. So can you guys hear me okay?
Yep. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. This is weird because it won't let me turn off my camera. But whatever. Okay, so as far as budget goes on outside of the DApp, because I really think the DApp is proven, we know what needs to happen. I think I really trust this team and want to take all the feedback that I can. And so Wojtek, I trimmed it down, and Wojtek helped me trim down what the other circles are doing even more. And for instance, the governance, I think that we can get away with just one person who's leading the governance. And honestly, I don't think they need to be paid that much. So, but then we have different projects. So I'm just on cell F6, right, where we're in governance. And the governance circle does a lot of admin work, and they do the budget. You know, the governance circle basically is the bureaucracy of Giveth, and at the same time, the experimentation as far as like DAOs and how we structure decentralized organizations. So that's kind of the two main roles of governance. I think that can be led by one person, and probably not even a full-time thing. They just have to manage the different projects and make sure everybody is happy, putting out fires when there's a governance issue. And then but also managing the projects and onboarding DACs to use our DApp. So we have these two different timelines. We have until March 1st and until November 15th. Until March 1st, it should just be the DACs that we expect according to our roadmap are just us and my Ether wallet and maybe one other. So onboarding shouldn't be that hard, but of course it's going to take time and effort. And I would think that you could kind of assign someone and reward them in some way with an experimental governance thing. So like basically the lead gets 600 a week, and then the project's onboarding whatever random stuff that we kind of like to do with our interesting governance model, and to reward contractors to do these things. Then we And so admin is completely taken off here, which makes me sad because I think that there's more admin work than we expect. But I think that we can do that basically through contractors, or like Quasia is just volunteering to take notes here. And then the comms. And then there's 20% buffer on all of these numbers, including the DAP numbers. So we just added 20% just in case. And also, all of these numbers actually match up to the donations we have right now. We are under budget for the donations we hold if we follow this budget plan until March 1st. So, okay, then the comms department, we have the lead of the comms department, who I think needs to be on top of all of the, social media, the Slack, the, external communications. Then I also think that documentations, which honestly, documentation could almost go under governance. It's kind of like both of these things. I think governance gets like a pass on not having to hold the documentation salary, because it's really a mix of documentation. Everyone needs documentation all over the place in the wiki and onboarding and all that stuff. So I think that it's a full-time gig. And then we're going to need, and then this is also external comms, is where, we get the swag. So like March 1st, our target for March 1st is for EdCon, kind of like our DevCon target. We'll bring a lot less swag to EdCon probably, so I only budgeted 1,500. And then we have the design, random graphics for the website or random things. It shouldn't be too much. I don't expect us to have to do a whole lot of stuff on the website for the next 3 months or 6 months. And then buffer. And then smart contracts is, we put the office under there because the office is kind of this place where, Ethereum devs go to hang out, and then Jordy, of course, uses it. And we don't have any salaried people for smart contracts because, honestly, I think that would be horribly inefficient. The DApp has the smart contract integration person, and then I think that I really believe that we have such a cool and sexy product that we can get any smart contract we need from either the community or from the DApp. Kind of like RJ just built that mini-me integration. That was not easy, but I think that we can kind of like get it. We don't need a full-time person for that because it's lots of small tasks. It'll be a lot of plugins, which will be small concrete tasks that we can mostly get from the project role. And this will be the same. Communications doesn't really have its own reward DAO. The governance and the smart contracts areas kind of do the reward DAO. I do have a role for testing and audits where we will, and this was, I say I have it, but really Wojtek and I just kind of like threw this together. So I can't take 100% credit for any of this. But audits we need stuff to be tested, and if it's not well tested and the DApp needs something tested, then we will have to pay someone to test it. But I don't expect that to happen that many times. And then buffer. So that's kind of the breakdown for the budget on this side. I think it is a substantial decrease. It only requires 3 full-time members, which would be, in my opinion, I'm hesitant. I like this idea of modeling things after a DAO, and in a DAO you have people who don't have commitments. However, you also have people that are self-organizing, and if people want commitments, then they should get it. That is the situation. So, yeah, that's the budget breakdown. I'll pass it back to Wojtek.
Right. So I have a quick question. Is Office really just 350? Because I think it's 1,400.
350 a month. A week. 350 a week.
That's a week, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I would not make any proposal today, I would say. But I think that next governance meeting, we should vote and agree on this budget. And in the meantime, everyone should give a feedback. So that's my proposal.
Okay, reactions round. Who wants to start?
I want to start because I have to go. So yeah, I'm already on the road actually. So no, I think it's a really good idea. And thanks, by the way, both of you for all this work on the budget. Yeah, as I said before, maybe we can both run through both documents and have maybe an extra meeting coming week, because this is governance to talk about what what the feedback is, and that we can really run through all of this in a separate meeting. So that is my reaction, and thanks again for all the work. And I pass it on to RJ.
Yeah, I think this is definitely a good start, and I'm just kind of excited to see what comes out of this. But to me, it seems like it's moving in the right direction. Kai.
Yeah, I really like to have good predictions and a solid budget. I think we need more time with it a little. So I'm not really sure if that's everything we need, or if there is not one or two things that are misbudgeted. But yeah, I welcome the initiation of communication. I follow Chris with